Hello, welcome
Hey.
back to my channel. So, in the spirit of Christmas, we are going to be making something very sweet, lovely, and premium. So, it's the simple and easy boiled fruit cake recipe we're going to be doing today. I promise you, this is different, this is lovely, this is fantastic in the spirit of Christmas. So, this recipe is for those that are in category of I forgot to soak my fruit, or I don't even like alcohol in my fruit, or I want something quick and easy, or I don't have a mixer, but I want to make fruit cake for Christmas. Okay, so I got you. This recipe is for you. Come, let's go. We're making something sweet today. My channel. So here's the fruit cake. That's cranberry, prawns, mixture of almond nuts and walnuts. It's going to be rich and nice, and that is the other kind of nuts we're going to be using, and that is golden raisins. Those are dates. All the seed has been taken out, and that's the egg, and that's the regular dark colored raisins. Then there's the butter. It has been diced already at room temperature, don't forget that. Then we have the brown sugar, light brown sugar, to make the cake very moist. Then almond extract is what we are going to be using here, alongside vanilla extract. Remember, it's pure vanilla extract. Then we are going to be using pure fancy molasses instead of treacle. If you have treacle, you can use treacle. Then with the flour, you already have your baking powder, your salt, and all your spices that is going to be listed. You have everything all sieved together in your flour with the cinnamon, your allspice, and your salt. Remember, your salt is all going to be sieved and mixed together as one piece. Okay, so this is all you're going to be needing for your rich fruit cake, and it's all going to be boiled. Remember, the prunes and the dates and the nut is not going to be boiled, remember that, but the red cranberry is going to be boiled. And here is the ingredient going into the pot. Go with your butter first. Remember, the butter is at room temperature, all diced and ready to go. Then your raisins goes in, your red cranberries goes in as well. Just pour in all your fruits that I mentioned before, but remember to dice your dates and your prunes because they are a bit bigger. Remember to dice it. Then your brown sugar goes in. Make sure that it's well mixed together so that the sugar is not just at the top. Then you add your water. Okay, you have to put water. Remember that it's at very low heat. It doesn't have to be so high so that it doesn't get burnt. Then you mix it all together so that it gets well incorporated. You mix it very well at very low heat. Okay, because you want to boil it, you don't want to burn it. And this particular pot I was using burns easily, so make sure that you use a pot that doesn't burn. So I was really careful that my fruit would not burn in this. You set your timer to 3 minutes. When it comes to a boil, you put it off. Okay, and so that once it comes to a boil, it simmers, and this is it. Is already boiled. Immediately I saw it was boiling, I put it off and took it off the heat so that it will stop the cooking process. Okay, once you take it off the heat, you put it in your bowl that you'll be using to mix, and in that bowl so that it can come to room temperature, because at this point it was really hot and I needed it to cool down, and because my pot will keep cooking, I needed the whole thing to cool down. And here I was adding lemon zest to my flour. Remember, I have all the spices in it already sieved. I couldn't get lemon zest separately, so I had to use my own zest, which is kind of nice because it was nice and fresh, because I did it by hand, so it goes in there because it gives it nice flavor. Then you take your eggs, which remember at room temperature. Remember that we are not creaming butter and sugar in this recipe. We are only going to be mixing it in the pot. So at this point, I'm trying to add in some air to my eggs, okay, so that I can incorporate some air and fluff up the yolk with the white so it's well mixed together. Then I'll go ahead and put my flavor, which is my almond extract and my vanilla. Okay, almond extract and vanilla is what you're going to be using for your fruit cake. You go ahead and whisk it together so that it's well incorporated. I'm trying to put in some air. Your fruit cake does not really need air, but the amount of air that goes in here also goes a long way in helping your fruit cake to get that kind of nice moist texture. Then here I have my flour mixed with my nut. I chop my nut a bit so that it doesn't sink. That's the reason why I did that. Then here is my end result. It has cooled down a bit, just a bit. It was still a bit warm because I was not really patient. So you can go ahead and do this a day before, okay, if you want to. Then fold in your dry ingredient. Normally I would do dry, then wet, then dry, and end with dry. I'll start with dry, end with dry, but because in this particular video my mixture was still a bit warm and I didn't want my eggs to cook, so I mixed in all my dry ingredients first, okay. But any which way, remember to fold, guys. Make sure you fold. Don't mix rigorously until it's well incorporated. You can see the way I'm folding gently, okay, gentle folding. Do not over mix, because at this point your mixture is already glowing gluten and you don't want your cake to come out looking and feeling tough. All right, then you add your eggs and fold again. Take your time to fold because you don't want your mixture to turn to rubber. Once you over mix your flour in any batter, it gets rubbery, okay. So ensure you fold. Then go ahead and add your fancy molasses or your treacle or your browning, whichever one you have available. This gives it a nice brown color. You know, those fruit cake with brown color, that's what it does. Then you fold in your nuts, which has been chopped and coated with flour. Remember to always coat your nut with flour, because if you don't, it will sink to the bottom of the pan. The flour gives it strength, and this is your end result, looking very nice and gooey and attractive, like you want to literally lick your screen. All right, and that is the pecan that is going to be used to decorate the top. Then it goes in the pan. Remember that there's a way to prepare your pan for fruit cake. Here I was using two liners for my pan, okay. I put the first one, then I sprayed the pan and went ahead to put the other one. I used two to protect my cake so it doesn't dry out too fast, so that it doesn't burn, okay. Fruit cake is baked at extremely low temperature, and after lining the bottom of my pan, I went ahead to line the sides of my pan. The sides of your pan also needs to be protected. Aside from the baking strip, you can see here that I use baking strip. I always use baking strip, guys. If you don't have baking strip, use a wet napkin. It helps your cake to cook evenly. You know, all those cakes that will cook by the side, and the middle will, it will take like some time for the middle to bake. If you use baking strip, you will avoid that happening to you. Then I went ahead to also coat the sides using the batter, okay. And this is the batter going in. Ensure that it is even, like, not, ensure that one is not more than the other. Then put in your pecans just to decorate and make it look nice, okay. I already had some pecans in my cake. This is just making sure that, you know, your cake comes out looking very nice and yummy, and this is what you have. Please, guys, most importantly, ensure you bake your fruit cake at very low temperature. 320 is what I bake my fruit cake at, and this baked for 90 minutes, guys. 90 minutes. Put water in one of your pans that doesn't leak and place at the bottom of your oven to give it a nice texture. So the steam that comes out of that pan ensures that your fruit cake comes out very, very moist and it doesn't dry up. That's the reason why I put water in that pan and placed at the bottom of my oven. Okay, if the steam would help your cake, go ahead to set your timer to the first 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I checked it. Then I checked it again after 50 minutes. Then I covered the top with a foil paper, okay, so that the top does not brown faster than the side. That was why I covered with foil. I covered it with foil after 50 minutes. Remember, this is baking at very low temperature. All right, so you don't want it to overcook. That's the reason for that. You need to always check your temperature when you're baking fruit cake, because the higher the temperature, the stony your cake will be. So you don't want your cake to come out like stone. And here you have it, guys. The cake is ready. At this point, my house was already smelling like, something very good. Okay, the cake was ready here, ready to go, but there's something left. Okay, you won't be cutting the cake the same day. Look, sorry, you don't bake, you don't cut this. Leave it in the pan till the next day. Okay, and that was what I did here. You don't cut your fruit cake the same day because you need the flavor to mature. At this point, my kids were already ranting and waiting for the cake, but no, wrap your cake, place it back in the pan when it is cool. All right, and leave it till the next day. After 24 hours, you have the best of the best of fruit cake. Okay, hello, as you can tell, this is the next day, and I'm just going to bring it out of the pan. It was like this all through the night, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to pop it up, pop it open, and we'll taste it. Okay, fruit cake is better the next day, always remember that. And it's out of the cling film. I'm just gonna cut it. So it feels so good with all the obstructions in it. Guys, I cannot wait. I see. I see. It looks like. I see the fruit in it. So nice and rich. This is us trying the cake. Okay, so let's try it. Mm. 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 It's so good. Can you hear the crunch in my mouth? From the north. What do you think? Good. Mm. 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 So guys, give this a try, and if you love it, I know you're gonna love it. I don't want to say if you love it. Give the thumbs up, subscribe, leave nice comments, tag me when it's done, guys. You're gonna love this recipe. Thank you. And have a lovely, she says, and have a lovely, lovely, lovely Christmas. Okay, enjoy yourself, be happy, and be good. Thank you. Bye.